Hello again, thanks a lot for coming. And I'm happy to see you. My name is Dima. I'm head of user acquisition at Game Insight. Today I'm going to talk about our UA approach and how we scale user acquisition for our products. How we do it efficiently without wasting money. Let me start off with a very simple visualization, a top level one. How, on average, pretty on average, the user acquisition lifecycle looks like for any project. Every time you launch a new game or a new project, in the beginning, everything pays off. Any types of targetings or settings you do, you buy them and it pays off. Next comes the growth stage, where the company understands that there is a potential for scaling and you're trying to probe your limits. You're looking for this threshold until which you can go. For different projects, it can last for days, months, or years. And as soon as this period comes to an end, the maturity period starts. When the traffic is at plateau, you're still efficient, but you cannot scale any longer. So this plateau period depends on how well is your product structured, on how good is your marketing structured, and it can finish very soon. Those four intervals are equal on my graph, but basically, depending on the project, they can change in any direction. So after maturity comes a period where the traffic volume goes down, because you can't any longer go on buying as much stuff as you used to buy before, and you have to change something in your product marketing, something that will thwart, revert, and upend the trend. And of course, you do A/B testing, the game is changing, new creative stuff is being created. That's all cool and nice, but at a certain point in time, the negative trend occurs. And in order to divert the trend, a significant breakthrough is required. And that's what we did on one of our titles. It's a 7.0 version for Airport City that's been around in the market for 8 years or even more. During one of the updates, our team set off on a task, on a mission to completely change the game experience and to make the airport as detailed as possible. You'll see as used to be, as was, and you'll see as is. And a lot of new tasks were developed in the game, a lot of new missions, and the overall game experience became to be different. And I'll show you how it impacted our user acquisition and game experience. The changes were so significant that we made a separate app on GP because a lot has changed in the game. That's why we decided to launch it as a separate game in Google Play, to just measure the metrics. The main objective for us at this game launch was to find out whether we'll be able to scale up our user acquisition for a new project like that. Because we wanted to grow the overall volume of investments into traffic for this project like 10 times or more. That's why our ad campaign were very wide to assess the most efficient campaigns and they were time limited. But we didn't want that. We wanted to see the potential for scaling. And we saw some really great metrics. Wider UA funnel on the start and metrics of later days became the same, better metrics for the first days as well. And it helped us to continue acquiring traffic. Let me show you how we scale the traffic. Let me show you some regular problems that UA managers face when trying to figure out how efficient is your campaign. You know, performance marketing companies like Google and stuff, they say that your algorithm can learn better if they have more data. So worldwide campaigns perform really well, but you can't really segment and you can't really see analytics for specific things inside because that's one worldwide company, but it has a lot of LTV curves inside it. Because when you're looking at a campaign and try to optimize it, you would do it for like the whole campaign, but different burnout rates are happening at different curves, and it seems like let's launch different campaigns separately, but it looks worse when you're launching them separately. That's why you still need to do it together, and it means that you have to do a lot of manual work. But it means that you have to go manually for each geo, for each placement, for each campaign, and it's not very efficient because it takes a lot of time of a game manager. But there's no way to go. You have to automate the process, and you have to set up your predictive analytics so that it can deconstruct every metrics within this one big one, and then you can come up with a top-level KPI, whether the campaign pays off or doesn't. And if it pays, then how much does it pay off? So it's a real-time top-level signal which shows you whether you are staying within the KPI or not. And it helps you to react quickly on the changing situation. So today, basically 24 hours after the install, we know how much money we're going to make in half a year with any campaign and any cohort. And it allows you to quickly react to all possible changes you might have. If you need some more specific analytics, if you need to analyze whether the campaign is successful or not and why, there's a system of dashboards here. It helps you easily and fast figure out what's happening with your traffic. All those dots are various campaigns. And all those campaigns are distributed based on whether they paid off or not. So everything above the medium has paid off, below hasn't. And that's how, in general, you can understand what worked and what not. Just pointing your mouse at the campaign, you'll see the dynamics, the changes. You can compare various campaigns one between the other. You can add a filter if you want. So this dashboard helps you to quickly understand how every campaign works, or any project works, or a group of projects works. It's all unified in terms of the KPIs and reporting. You can go even deeper into a single campaign. There is a more specific dashboard system and a setup that talks about this particular campaign. And this dashboard can answer all typical questions of a manager with CTR, RPU, RPPU. These are the questions that are routinely asked. So what we want is to get an automated version of it so that at any given point in time you can see this similar data visualization, and you can go down to a campaign or a channel or a country. What's most important is that your assessment approach, your analysis approach is all the same. If you're missing a report, the system helps you to add a report or to take it out. If we see that a report is too detailed or doesn't give you any insights, you just delete it. Next, let's move to creatives. Creatives remain to be the main growth driver. That's the fuel for traffic. And you shouldn't forget that anything can work. You shouldn't be trying to, chase amazing ideas. The most important is improve what works and keep testing new ideas, even if you think they are crazy, strange, or ugly, and some people don't like it. Just kill the sense of beautiful in yourself and test the more, because the more concepts you test, the more hooks you will have that you can, take and unwind anything that will work in the future. Now let me go back to analytics and how we do it. We've looked at the top-level performance marketing. Basically, what you want to see is two things: how much you spend and how much you're going to earn. This is what we post on a daily basis for board meetings at Slack. Red line shows you how much you're spending on a daily basis, and green how much you've earned from this particular cohort. A dotted line is how much you're going to earn for the day you need. If the dotted line is above the red one, it means it's good and you can continue scaling. If it's bad, you need to figure out what's wrong. And that's what our game managers need to do. They always have to balance the red lines with the green ones, the dotted green ones. We post such graphs on a daily basis in Slack because they answer lots of questions right away. Because there are lots of stakeholders: game manager, producer, analytic, And they all want to know the dynamics. They all want to see what's paying and what's not, and what's the top level dynamics. So a simple dashboard like that can actually help you to answer a lot of questions. And it reduces the need for personal and face-to-face meetings. Everybody stays on the same boat. You're all on the same page and everybody's happy, like that guy here. We continue to work with the system, we continue to search for people, we continue to improve our system, we continue to hire game managers and UA managers. And at this point in time, we're absolutely sure that the data we're working with are clean and pure, and that our predictions are very good. It helps us to scale UA. That's why we are enforcing our team, making it stronger to continue to grow together. In the end, as a conclusion, what I would like to say, and what has to be mentioned, you can scale any project, like our case with Airport City has shown. A game that's been around for 10 years and it seems like everything has burned down, it's still life and kicking, so to speak, and you can always find a solution to bring it back to life. In order to grow, you must be sure about your predictive real-time analytics, and your predictive real-time analytics must work as fast as it can, because it's your competitive advantage. The faster you react to a changing situation, the more effectively you can invest your money into it. So here are the modern market realities. And of course, creatives, you can't go anywhere without creatives. The more creative, the better. But you just need to carry on testing them.